Berry Beach here. Today we're going to talk about a hobby beekeeper that there are several things that people need to know when they start beekeeping, and they have a new beehive or that's the first beehive, and they don't know where to put the beehives, what to take under considerations to do that. And today I'm going to try to clarify this for some of my friends and associates. So first rule is be sure when you're going to put the hive that you're not going to be able to move it around your yard very easy. Remember this rule: 2 feet or 2 miles. So if you move them more than 2 feet from one place to another one, they will tend to go to that original location and you're going to lose bees. So if you want to move it 6, 10, 20 feet on different part of your property, you have first to move them at least 2 miles away. Considering that bees will go on a radius of 2 miles around their beehive, most of the time they are not. They tend to be very efficient in finding the source, the closest to their hive. If they go so far, they're going to lose a lot of time and energy to bring whatever food sources are so far away. And this is especially very true when new beekeepers extract their honey and they leave almost nothing for the bees to survive on. And then they have very gentle bees, and their bees turn very aggressive, and it's going to be a lot of robbing around, and you lose beehives and so forth. So first, I would prefer to put the new beehive, if it's possible, toward the south in the sun or shade, but not directly under trees to avoid any branches that the wind will drop into the hives. And a second is I would like to put their entrance against the prevailing wind. So if there is any wind in my area, the prevailing wind is from the north, so I put their entrance to the south. So anything is coming from the back of the hive. So if it's windy or rain, the rain will not go into their hives. The stand I would like to have for the hobby beekeeper about yay tall at your knee and tilted toward the entrance. So any water or anything that they remove from their hive, like dead bees or other dirt or anything that could be in the hive, dead brood or cleaning around the hive, will be easier for them. Another thing is that you need to have room to work, preferably from the side. So if you work from the side, it will be easier for you to work the hives. When you have many hives, obviously you put a long stand. I would prefer to put like 6 on the hive and you work them from behind. Another thing is you have to have an accessible location. So try to find a way to bring a cart or something. If you have a few beehives, so you are not carrying a lot of hive parts or honey or anything that break your back. You put them on the cart, or you have car access. try not to, if you have live in a farm, or try not to put the beehives very close to the livestock. Um, Another thing is, if you have large animals like horses and cows and goats and whatnot, um, put them behind the fence so they will not knock down beehives, and then you have a mess in your hands with the bees and dead animals. um, Another thing that's you need to have the beehives high enough so skunks will not go into the entrance and scratching, and the bees will go out and they eat them as candies. If you have skunks in your garden or your property, try to put like a fence or something so they will not have direct access to your bees. Where you have wild animals like bears, and uh, put electric fence around. Another thing that I would like uh, to touch, and it might be possible where you put your beehives on a farm, try to hide them from the two-legged animals that try to steal your beehives and then let you. Um, if it's possible, to avoid the busy streets where the cars will go in the speed and kill your bees. If they happen to go and cross over that busy street, the cars will just the windshield will be full of dead bees. If you have natural water around, that'll be a fantastic way. Otherwise, you need to provide sources of water, especially when it's really in a dry season, summertime. Provide plenty of water and be sure they are not drowning. And the water will help by they bring water into the hive and they fan the water with their wings, and by evaporation they cool down the beehive to keep the brood, the nest temperature in around 95 degrees, 93 to 95 degrees Fahrenheit. When you have storms, especially fall and winter times, you have these windstorms, and try to provide a wind barrier, and that will be done. I put some equipment or any other wind barriers like mats, or you can put some bales behind them, so where the prevailing wind will be blocked. So wind will really cool down your beehives, and if you group them together and put the wind barrier behind them, they will share heat, and they'll be more efficient at night, at winter time. If you keep your beehives at somebody's place, be sure you have an agreement with that person in writing, and in agreement, your clause, the only clause I put in my agreements, to give me at least a couple of weeks notice if they for any given reason want me to move the bees, because otherwise you'll be under enormous pressure to move your bees, and you lose bees, and it will be very, very difficult. Be generous with people who will help you keep the bees. Give them whatever you can to keep them happy, and most of the time I know beekeepers are generous. Be positive. be enthusiastic about what you do, and have a great